What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more dance music, I believe. This is another Lucky Dip, one provided by Chafic, big shout out to you. And it's interesting, it's a tune by Orbital. Now, I don't know Orbital's catalog very well. I do happen to know that they were, or maybe still are, but an electronic music group that was around in the 90s and had some, like, mainstream or, like, radio play. But my understanding, okay, so in the world of trance and techno that I got involved in, especially a couple acid trance tunes, one by Chalky and one by Pablo Gargano, there are references to the M25, which I believe is a motorway in the UK, and I believe this motorway had some significance in the world of like acid house and rave parties as they began to flourish in the first half of the 90s. So yes, I believe Orbital, their name, is a reference to the M25 in some way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a piece of information I remember that came my way a long way back. And partly it was because I was like, wait, like Pablo Gargano has a tune that includes a reference to the M25. Chalky has a tune that references the M25. Like, what's happening here? And I remember, like, I forget who it was, one of my like techno friends sort of explained this to me. In any case, this is a tune from 1993, and it's called Halcyon Plus On. And I don't know if I'm like reading that right or if it's said another way. I don't know if there is, like, if this is some version of a tune that like is a medley of two different tracks, or whether this is just the name of the tune. I guess that is what I'm assuming. Luca, what are you doing? Luca is behaving very bizarrely down here. In any case, let's give it a listen, and once again, shout out to Chafic for these lucky dips. This is Orbital. The track is Halcyon On, or like Plus On from 1993. Very space ambient. Very like dream trance. love that 90s trance bass line. Bit of a tension string in the back. hard ending, right? Like a Yep. That's great. I really enjoy that. And I have a lot to say about it because, again, 93, it's before I started going to parties, but this is a kind of track which I feel like, in some sense, is a little bit ahead of its time. It sounds a bit more like the progressive or melodic trance of the middle to second half of the 90s, even. So first of all, it reminded me, I said early on, it reminded me of Dream Trance. It, felt like it could be a Robert Miles tune or something. The more it went on, and especially with those layered vocals, one more floating and ethereal, and then another vocal, similar in like vocal character, but it was more sort of fragmented and like affected. Those vocals and a lot of the tune overall beyond that made me think of a Platypus Records tune, and or not a tune specifically, although I guess, maybe most narrowly Calling Your Name, Libra Presents Taylor, but it just kind of had a Platypus Records vibe to it. And it also made me think it's what my friends and I back in the 90s when we were going to rave parties would have called mixtape trance. Not to say it could not be played at a party. I think it would work well, especially like when it's getting into the morning hours, and especially if it's an outdoor party, this would be a great like sunrise type of tune, to play right when the sun's gonna come over the horizon. But by mixtape trance we meant the kind of tunes we would listen to on the way home from parties. Especially, we'd go to like parties with hard trance or techno or even hardcore rocking all night, and then on the way home we would kind of like start to wind down, and we'd often put on a breaks mixtape or a progressive trance mixtape, or like I didn't have all that much ambient back then, but sometimes there'd be a trance mix which would have like long ambient sections. So it's the kind of tune we would listen to driving home on California freeways at like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, in a attempt to bridge the feeling of the party to get us back into a mode where at some point in the next couple hours we might be able to go to sleep. So in that sense, it was sort of mixtape trance. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It's smooth. Again, it's got these lush like pads. It's got that 90s trance bass line, which again maybe feels even it's a couple years ahead of its time, so to speak. And I love those vocals. So yeah, really atmospheric. Again, I've known who Orbital are for a long time. I think my brother even had some of their material, maybe like a CD of Orbital. But I just never personally like went down the rabbit hole of listening to their music. It was just like I was aware of them. In the same way, again, there were some other electronic music groups that, sort of cracked a little bit into the, radio play and so on. But yes, ultimately, I'd never heard this song before. I very much enjoyed it. Once again, big shout out to Chafic. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.